These have got to be the beefiest goddamn bed stiffeners on the market. Let's throw them in. Jumping into this, slithering hot. I think this is the bare minimum of what you need to get these installed on your 05 and up Tacoma. Jump right into it. I'd recommend a torque wrench. Definitely not needed. A drill is 100% needed. Impact is nice. This little right angle impact is nice. Tape measures, always handy. And of course, you got your bed stiffeners. So I gotta start off this video by saying you do need to pull your tail lights. I do already have them out, as you can see. It's super easy. You have one bolt here and one bolt right next to this one. You take those out, which are 10 mils, and then you just pull the headlight out, or the tail light, excuse me, straight out. She pops right out. Because you will need to drill holes like this. I did paint them, that's why they look all weird. You need to drill holes in the side of your bed to get these mounted up. So I'm going to go ahead and bolt these up so I can show you guys the finished product before we get started. And then we'll dive into this side and I'll go step by step. Bam, knocked that out super quick. Check out this fitment. It's super sick how they go all the way to the top of your bedside with this one bolt. Go all the way down. You have an insane amount of tie down points right here. Sits super flush. Even on the back side. Super flush. And I might have to film the rest of this video tomorrow. That's what it looks on the back side and the inside of the fender. There's another bolt up here. So yeah, I'm probably going to have to film the other step-by-step part of this video tomorrow because there's no more light. So, we'll switch to a new day. Alright, pause. I don't think I even mentioned this. These are the Chassis Unlimited 16 to 23 Tacoma bed stiffeners. I'm pretty sure they will work with 05 and up, but they're, I guess, designated to fit for 16 to 23, so I would stick to that. But yeah, don't think I mentioned it. They're 1/4-inch steel. They're like double lapped. And it's pretty sick with all these tie down points right here. And they go all the way up to the bed, which is exactly what I wanted. So it's dark outside. Let's cut to most likely tomorrow and get these knocked out. Alright, it is a new day. We're jumping into it. The truck is an absolute disaster. But one thing I forgot to mention earlier is these bed stiffeners for some reason do not come with hardware when you buy them. So I ended up picking up some M10, probably by 30 millimeter long bolts and nuts and washers for the backside. You can also use 3/8. I noticed that the flange bolts and the metric fit the hole a little bit better, which is super sus. But anyway, first thing to do on this side is you're going to remove this main bed bolt, which is going to be like looking like this, and then this one is going to have the hook on it. They're both going to be Torx. That's all you need to remove, and like I said earlier, the tail light. And we're going to go ahead and put some of these bolts back in and use it to mock it up so we can mark the holes to get ready to drill. So let's go ahead and do that. Alright, so one quick thing I will mention that I see people forget a lot is when you pull out this bolt in here that has the hook on it, you have all these spacers that go in between the bed and the frame. You want to put those back in, or else that it's going to pull up that gap and then the bed's not going to sit right. So all you do is drop those in there like that, and then we're going to swing this in place, and then we're going to go ahead and get this mocked up to get ready to drill. Alright, I'm going to show you the best way, or my favorite way, to line up the bed stiffener so at least you know it's somewhat straight. This is how I like to do it. So I'll put a straight edge or a square on it. I'll measure it up like this, 1.5 inches. I'll measure it like this, 1.5 inches, and I can move it to either corner. So I know that one's 1.5 inches right there, and that one's 1.5 inches right there. So at least I know it's straight in line with the bed. Then I do the same thing on this side like this. Bam, bam, and then I know at least it's straight with the bed side as well as the bed. Then we just go ahead and mark the bolts, mark the holes to drill, and then we start drilling, baby. Drill, baby, drill. Alright, we got all our holes marked out. I have some, I'd silicone this huge gap right there. Hopefully you can see that. I'll show you on the other side. I siliconed this big gap right here in the bed. So that's why I taped it like that, so all the metal shavings doesn't get in the wet silicone. But today we're using the 25/64 drill bit. Drill out these holes. I'm probably going to touch up the holes with a little bit of paint, just because I'm weird. Vacuum up all the shavings. We'll slap them in, and that should do her. Alright, bam. Holes drilled. Let me show you a quick tip. On the back side, you can see how there's a bunch of kind of like metal shaving overhangs. I'm going to just go ahead and take one of these, the little baby flap disc, and just clean up all those edges. And then it's going to leave a little bit of bare paint, but we're just going to throw a quick coat of paint over it when we're done. Alright, I already touched it up. I forgot to film it, but all you do is get a piece of cardboard, spray the back side, put it on this side, spray this front side. This is what we're using, some Rust-Oleum 2X. It's just flat black. It was like $5 on Amazon. I bought a bunch of cans to keep in the shop. The rest is pretty easy. These are pretty straightforward, but I'm going to do a little time lapse, but I'll do a quick clip of talking about these bed bolts because those got to get torqued to 60 foot-pounds. Alright, so here we're going to work on this big bed bolt. I'm going to go ahead and throw a bunch of red Loctite on this bad boy and smack her in. These might be kind of hard to get started because the bed bolt actually sits a lot deeper than all the other ones on the far back side. Plus you have the thickness of the bracket, so that's why I red Loctite it. Then I'm going to just get an impact and snug it a little bit like that. And then I'm just going to take another measurement, make sure everything's straight, and then we will go ahead and torque everything down. Alright, I took a quick measurement, and that's good. So we're going to go ahead and slam her down to 60 foot-pounds. Right about there. Bam. Take it off. Then we have to get the adapter for this. Where did I put it? Where'd she blow? Where did she blow? Shit. Oh, it's right here. Ooh, that was probably loud. My bad. Alright, then we're going to do the bed bolt right now. I'll red Loctite on all these bed bolts when I'm doing this and torquing them. It's just kind of hard to find an actual spec on the torque, but I looked all over the internet. People said that they took apart their factory bed bolt and it would take about 55 pounds to untorque it. So 60 is probably the factory torque spec. Started to see it round a little bit, but anyway, I should do her. I'm just gonna throw on that top bolt, tail light goes back in, you're all set. Drop a subscribe if you like this. These are easily the beefiest bed stiffeners. I'm gonna end up putting a camper on this truck if you didn't know, so I wanted to make sure that the bed sides of the truck were nice and strong, so I was looking for the beefiest setup I could possibly go with. This will do her. Chassis Unlimited 16 and up Tacoma bed stiffeners. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.